Hello there, everybody. My name is Ashley Hunt. I'm the Senior Project Management Instructor here at Stormwind Studios, and I'm getting a ton of questions about the new PMP exam. Well, the day has finally arrived that we have gone through the Authorized Training Partner Program, as well as I've attended the Authorized Instructor Program in their train-to-trainer that is designed for this new exam. So we've done everything that we were supposed to do, and I gotta tell you, things have definitely changed. And I get that question a lot. What is going on with the new PMP exam? What's happening? A lot. There's a lot of changes that are going on. So I'm just gonna give you a preview of some of those changes just so that you're aware. The current exam, in its 6th edition of the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK Guide, scores on what are called process groups. So you have initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and controlling and closing. That's how they score right now. The new exam is going to score on 3 domains: people, process, and business environment. You can tell by the breakdown that the process domains carry the bulk of the questions, but people at 42% is also a large body of questions focused on your human resources and other stakeholders. Business environment is more about governance of the project, your organizational processes, and how your organization does things and things to be aware of in your business environment. But you can tell it's only 8% because it would be very difficult for PMI or anybody to say, here's how you manage your business environment. Instead, here's some things to consider in all business environments. Very, very different. The other thing is that there are no more IDOs, no more inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs. Well, there are tools and techniques and there are documents, but no longer do we have that entire structure of here's a list of inputs, here's a list of tools, techniques, and here's a list of outputs. Instead, they break it down by domains, tasks, and enablers. Let me just give you an example of that. The domain, let's say, is for people. People domain. The task is a skills list, but we're trying to figure out how our team is doing, what skills they have. So to do that, we need a deliverable of a RACI matrix. So responsible, accountable, consult, and inform. That would be essentially the output, if you will, and the technique to get to that output. The enabler is appraising your team's skills. How do we do that? What enables us to appraise our team's skills in the domain of people? So then you do the task, you get the deliverables. It's different, but there's still a lot of the best practices, tools, techniques, and things that have not changed from the 6th edition to this new exam that will be in the 7th edition Project Management Body of Knowledge, PMBOK Guide, when it comes out later this year. Now, predictive and agile focus, I've been mentioning this in all of my classes, is that it's essentially 50-50. Yes, the bulk of a lot of the documents that would be in a baseline or the project management plan are predictive, but there are absolutely aspects of agile. How to do retrospectives and stand-up meetings and looking for cross-functional types of team members and so on. So if you're not necessarily really well versed in Agile, don't worry about it too much because mostly it's about best practices rather than a set or distinct, you just do Scrum. Something like that. Scrum's mentioned, Scaled Agile Framework is mentioned, but unlike the ACP exam, you don't have to have a lot of experience, but some knowledge is good. Either way, when you go through the training, you will get all the information that you need because we are using their content. We've got the creds. We've gone through. We're authorized training partners. I'm an authorized training partner instructor. And what that means for you is that we will be utilizing PMI's new program. We will need to use their content, so everything's standardized, and it's bulky. Student guide and the content that we'll be going through and so on is specifically geared toward the new exam written by the Project Management Institute. And the reason that is because PMI pushed out surveys to a lot of the folks in the world who said, look, we want something standardized. we want to make sure that we're getting the right information from our authorized training people to make sure that our people are going to be able to pass the exam. So we've done that, we've gotten involved, and now we will be able to present you with the information that you will need for the 7th edition. When does the exam change? January 2nd, 2021. What about those of you who are trying to get things done before the big change? Don't worry about it. We're going to have both 6th and 7th edition classes running a bit in a stagger. And so we want to make sure that those of you that are going to take the 6th edition still have time to do that, still have the information and the classes that you need. Plus, we're trying to bridge that gap into the 7th edition. So always go out and check our campus calendar, see what's coming up, and be sure to double check which version you're signing up for. You still have time to take the current exam, but my best advice is to go out to www.pmi.org and take a look at the downloads for the exam content outline for whichever exam you are planning to take. The current content outline and then the new one for 2021. That'll give you a good idea as to what's on both exams, and maybe you might decide, hey, I'd like to learn more about Agile and Predictive, and I like this setup. Maybe I'll just wait until the 7th edition. Or maybe you're halfway through the 6th edition content and you're like, make sure that you try and get that 6th edition because the content is exponentially different. So those are just some previews of the changes that are coming up with this new exam. So absolutely always check out pmi.org for the most up-to-date information. Check our campus calendar, and we look forward to seeing you in one of the PMP exam prep classes, whether it's the 6th edition or the 7th edition. Not to worry, we got your back.